Hello everybody, Forrest is here. Today we are here finally to do a test for this cold steel Recon Scout CPM 3B steel. We are in riverbed, or I hope it's correct, even if this is creek, not a river. So we'll stay here. I found this one, which will serve me as a table, and of course that one, which I'll try to split baton. I haven't expected to do this batoning splitting here, but that was fortune. I've got some green stuff and everything, so let's do it. So let's find out if this one can make sparks. This is the false edge, very nice, and of course the spine. Yeah, this is really fire scraper. All those edges are really sharp. For someone could be not so positive. For me, yes, I like it. We'll see. But anyway, I do this part for the second time because I tried to baton through this what I found, but all my batoning sticks I found here were destroyed. They couldn't stand the impact. What I found is this one. So we can demonstrate. I need the baton stick. So what about to demonstrating chopping power? Well, as you might see, I don't use any lashing. I don't know how long this branch was here. Using just this grip. So, of course, it is better to use a saw, but nice piece of wood. But I'm glad I've got this demonstration. Now, finally, we'll see. That is something, guys. Nice, very nice. So that was the hardest part, probably, because I didn't know how this one goes. I got here this green stuff. for the ribbing. Might be this one, but okay. Nice, about 2 centimeters. We're closing 1 inch in this way. Okay, but what I expected to be a bit worse. Carving, or actually cutting fresh stuff. So if I want to have, let's say, a tent peg, you know, to wield it in this way, where this distance is really uncomfortable, because it takes there is a leverage, so it takes more energy, so it is less efficient. This is I guess 0.9 of millimeter the secondary bevel, so very thick, kind of axe thick. So not this one, but I'll try this. And of course there is still the original guard. I said I will remove about 5 millimeters definitely to have better grip for my thumb. But anyway, I'll try this one. Not really. Yeah, it works, but should I say if is it comfortable? No, it's not. What about the chest pull? Much better. Much better. Now the cross guard helps. This grip. What about this one? Because this is one way, of course, and I can use another more practical way for such a knife. 430 grams, so almost 1 pound. So this is definitely a better way. It saves energy because there is the heft in the knife, of course, and then I can finish it in this way, or with the chest pull. And by the way, this is still, of course, the original edge. You know, I guess this is my very first use of the knife, so I haven't cut, I think, anything with it. So pointy stick, yeah. If I want to have some snares, or use this, yeah, that should be okay. So for the triggers, actually, so I will do this one. Yeah, it's deep enough, but if I want to have it more deep and maybe nice, and of course there is another one. Okay, let's try this all the way. And just finish the job. Yeah, the secondary bevel is too high, I think. Of course, it makes the edge very tough, but as a slicer, I think it's a little bit beyond. I would say the 0.8 will be definitely somehow better for slicing, but it won't make the edge that, let's say, fragile, you know. It's still relatively thick. Yeah, definitely not the nicest. Yeah, this is better now. The point is you have to press really down to cut through these fibers there on the wood, but you know, it makes that usage unsafe because you really have to press there, and even the sharp, so the knife is sharp, so it still won't cut as I want, or slice actually, but I can do it. And actually I've got a 10 pack also with this. I can use it, and of course put this one into ground just to make it more roundish if I want. Just make those corners more rounded, but it's better for pounding into the ground, and then I can use it. So 3 tests or 4 tests: the tip, one of this trigger, another one, and of course 10 pack with finishing. So I guess yes, this is fresh wood, not that soft, or maybe the feeling of the knife because the secondary bevel. So what we did actually is, I guess, everything. So we chopped 2, we split, we did this carving on the, by the way, okay, what about some dry wood? What about some dry wood? This is just crap wood, but it's not that dead, and of course it is dry. Of course it's not as comfortable, or it's even less comfortable than with the fresh, but you get the idea. So how this one works, this is my first experience with this knife. So let's do some conclusion. I said about the sheath, I'm alright with the sheath. I think I don't need to change anything. Oh, sorry guys. So I don't need to change anything on this one. Only maybe I'll add some T-clip or something like that. About the knife itself, for the money I bought it. This is one kind of ultimate survival knife. Absolutely, you can use it for fighting. By the way, okay, I've tried to do when I chopped that green stuff, I've used it as a machete. Maybe I will do separated video, or maybe short video, which I'll put in the end or after the end of this video, how this one works as a machete. Let's say you have to make a path through short area and use this one as a machete. I've tried it, as I said, because I have chopped out that one, and thanks to the secondary bevel, it's too high. It won't go into the wood that easy. You have to really swing because it's short with the thick secondary bevel. So you have to go through. You have to really put some power into it, and some of these saplings are not forgiving. So those are those which they spring back. So if you don't cut them through, they will spring back. So you really try to do it once, and it's not that easy. At least what I've tried. Maybe that was only wrong piece, something like this one. So anyway, in my eyes, ultimate survival knife, especially with the CPM 3V, because that's, in my eyes, probably the best steel now for all-around use, especially outdoor use, because it's rust resistant somehow much better than carbon steels all around. I mean 1095, which are normally used as a survival knives. Of course, it's tough. It holds an edge decently, I think like 1080, something like that, so which is all right, absolutely. The handle, you saw me when I chopped, I haven't used any lashing because I was all right even with the glove, so it's really there. Before I bought it, I said, okay, maybe I will, this will be the very first knife where I will put it, because I need it for the handle shape. But it sits there, you see everything here is all right. Of course, to do extensive chopping, okay, but I think, why should you do that? I use Silky, one Pocket Boy 170, or these 240, doesn't matter. Even the Pocket Boy 13, actually 130, so 13 centimeters blade, which is really small one. It's long like this one about. When you open it, it helps with this. So this one was kind of harder job of this, out of this. And if you have to do 5, 6, 7 times of this one from whatever reason, then of course you might be in danger, because your hand will be tired and the knife will go off, might go off actually. But that will be only thing. If you go to saw, you don't need. For splitting, it's absolutely fine. This almost in 8 millimeters CPM 3D, beautiful. So what I will do, as I said, I will remove about at least 5 millimeters here to be more comfortable in the grip. What I will do also, I will do this, as I said, the choil is there. It is so. So I will move it a little bit forward, just let's say 3 millimeters, 2-3 millimeters. So really a bit forward. Then it should be all right. It should be okay, definitely. And probably I will regrind this, maybe only some area short, let's say 2.5 inches for those cutting you do in here. And this one I might leave, maybe I will leave as it is for is chopping ability. But definitely the secondary bevel, if that will be 0.8, not 0.9, it will not compromise the toughness, but it will help with the slicing. I think the 0.8 is something what I am used to bit, because I got some knives there, and they are much better than this one for slicing. 0.7 is questionable, still okay. 0.7 millimeters, that will be definitely much better slicer. But of course, to go through, there wasn't any knot. I think I can see any. It was the curvature of the wood, but if there will be not, this 0.8, 0.9 millimeters probably can do anything with that. The 0.7, I'm not sure. 0.6 will be much better slicer, much better slicer. It will be actually slicer, but that will be probably the weak spot of the knife. So cold steel Recon 1 CPM 3V, for me again probably the best ultimate survival knife for, you know, those who uh, don't prefer sorry, prefer any type, like somebody likes tantos. I like tantos. Somebody likes kukris because, you know, for its superior chopping ability, definitely better than this one. But this is more nature for us, even for, let's say, somehow standard knife fighting, self-defense, especially, let's say, wild animals. This is definitely more which we are used to as a humans, than to have, let's say, kukri, defend ourselves for against some wild animal. This is just, you know, come in, you know, that's it. You don't need to do anything else. So the just need to be careful. This force edge is really sharp. Even for the grind, it just, you feel the edge, but you are not that scared. You will be cut. But uh, if you pull, then it might bite you. So it's there. For me, very. That's why it's a long time in the market. I think I said from 1990. I think so. So this is really a long time proved design. Even the handle is very. That's what I haven't said. Sorry, the handle. If I forget the design or shape, it's great. Especially with the gloves. I don't like to use gloves because, you know, the feeling on the in the handle is, sorry, the feeling of the handle is not as good as without the glove. But I'm absolutely alright with it. Maybe because of that skin, somehow skin. I don't know, is this original or kind of plastic skin, but anyway, it's there. So the handle is comfortable, no any vibration. When I chopped this one, everything was okay. So if I recommend this one, absolutely yes. As a slicer, standard a knife, you don't have any other knife for, let's say, camping and these things. I'd say three and a half. Why? Because this is not slicer. But if you got small knife folder, something like this one, then it kicks this one up as a side, or you will have both, and that will be definitely 4.5 out of 5. What I will improve is, say, that's what I've done. Maybe I will do, as if original, I will do a little bit more here, like the kind of bird's beak, to be more secure here. But that's it. So that will be 5 out of 5, even with the steel and everything. So if there will be everything what I've said plus this one, 5 out of 5. But this is a great knife. Thank you very much. Have a great time. Bye.